what you think. Look,
Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 187th episode of my series where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. So when it comes to more modern legends that I haven't discussed yet, you'd be hard-pressed to find one more enigmatic and memorable than Action Bronson. I'm not really a giant concert guy, it's just not really in my personality. But I did see a pretty good amount of shows throughout my high school experience and the years following. It's been at least a couple years now since I went to an actual festival or concert. But while the last show I saw was for Billy Woods in Navy Blue, which Earl Sweatshirt and Uncle Al showed up for, the most recent one I've been to outside of that was Action Bronson, along with affiliates like Mayhem Loren and Big Body Bess. In fact, now that I think about it, I believe Uncle Al came out for that show as well, and it's pretty dope to me that he has such a deep and fruitful friendship with many talented MCs and artists from all corners of the medium. Even outside of the projects he's fully produced, like Alfredo with Freddie Gibbs or Haram with Armand Hammer, Alchemist has had a hand in many of the more experimental and forward-thinking releases to come out over the last couple decades, with beat placements on all kinds of LPs that I personally heavily enjoy, like Rock Marciano's Reloaded, Earl Sweatshirt's Doris, Mike Tyson by the late legend Sean Price, Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q, Directors of Photography by Dilated Peoples, Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown, Being You is Great, I Wish I Could Be You More Often by Quelle Chris, Whether or Not by Evidence, Supreme Clientele or Chris Benoit by West Side Gun, Behold a Dark Horse, also by Rock Marciano, Benny the Butcher's Tana Talk 3, multiple Conway the Machine LPs like Everybody is Food Too, Eat What You Kill, or From King to a God, and of course some of the other work he's done through collaborative LPs, with one-off projects like The Price of Tea in China with Boldy James, or Lulu once again with Conway the Machine. And that isn't even counting the official duos that he still partakes in from time to time, like Step Brothers with Evidence, or Gangrene with fellow rapper producer Oh No. But while Uncle Al sets the tone with his grimy and masterful production, the center stage is mostly taken up by Action Bronson, an MC with a pretty long and storied career at this point, making a splash back in the early 2010s with a number of mixtapes and singles. The first one that I personally can remember hearing, outside of his verse on the top tier ASAP Rocky posse cut One Train, was the single Imported Goods, where Action highlighted his prior occupation as a chef over a killer J Love instrumental. He went on a tear of releasing dope projects from 2011 to 2012, with a couple mixtapes prior to this one, like Dr. Lecter and Well Done with Static Selecta. But for me, Rare Chandeliers epitomizes everything that's so entertaining and lovable about Action Bronson. When I first was introduced to this guy, I actually wasn't particularly fond of him, but it really had nothing to do with the music. It was because of his short-lived but pretty viral feud with Ghostface Killah. If you don't know the story, basically some TV personality on a sports show who was interviewing Bronson brought up Ghostface in reference to how uncanny the similarity in their voices can be, to the point there's even a famous story of Ghost hearing Action on the radio for the first time and thinking it was actually himself, and he was like, when did I record this? However, while they put it behind them long ago and it seems to be water under the bridge now, for some reason at the time, Action Bronson was asked how he felt about the comparison, and he said something to the effect of, well, he isn't doing it like this anymore. Obviously, this didn't sit well with Ghost or the rest of the Wu, with Papa Wu actually pressing Action on video at a funeral, which even back then I found distasteful and corny, even when I didn't like Action at all. But I don't think there was ever any actual diss tracks created over this situation, which is probably why it wasn't prolonged as long as it could have been. which I think was pretty wise on Action's part, since that easily could have been a career-ending move if he didn't play his cards right. There was, however, one classic and hilarious video that was created out of this moment for hip-hop that was insanely memorable, which was Ghostface Killah's initial response to Action slighting him, which honestly I can't even spoil for the people who haven't seen it. All I'm gonna say is if you aren't familiar with this video Ghost posted back in the day, I'll leave a link for it down below, as it's easily one of the most badass and cinematic moves that anyone's made in a beef. And I'm sure it directly played into why Bronson did everything within his power to dead this beef before it got out of hand. Back to Rare Chandeliers though, it was this project that really turned me from a baseless hater to a fan, as well as his role in the Double XL freshman cover for 2013, which I still maintain has the single best Double XL freshman ciphers of all time, and no, 2016 doesn't even come close. This LP is actually a bit ahead of its time with the sort of crime noir theme and album artwork, which is something we seem to be seeing more and more with each passing year, especially when it comes to this New York side of underground hip hop. Action Bronson really showed why he's his own MC on here, giving us mixes of comedy, street slang, violence, drugs, culinary arts, wrestling, and a boatload of relatable everyday references for not just New Yorkers, but really anyone just struggling in the middle lower class. His tendency to use creative and provocative imagery sets him apart from anyone he does a track with, and he always finds a unique and interesting way to relay a relatively simple concept. Uncle Allen covers 100% of the production, though it definitely was nowhere near his first or last time handling that type of pressure, and I also want to give Alchemist a quick shout out for creating a modern classic with the beat he just crafted for Meet the Grams, at least at the time of writing this. By the time you're seeing this, that's probably going to be pretty old news. But back to the modern classic at hand, while all the instrumentals are taken care of by that singular legend, there are a handful of guest verses from the likes of Big Body Bess, Mayhem Loren, 80 the Coroner, Big Twin, Styles P, Schoolboy Q, Evidence, Rock Marciano, and one of the greatest to ever touch a mic, Sean P. When it comes to my honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut for the top tier, I'd choose Mike Vick, Bitch I Deserve You, Modern Day Revelations, Demolition Man, Sylvester Lundgren, and Randy the Musical. For my top 3 overall favorites, I would definitely have to go with Blood of the Goat, Gateway to Wizardry, and Eggs on the Third Floor. Thank you for watching my 187th video. Next time we're going to discuss an even more underground pick that I haven't heard too many people online talk about. So look out for that one, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments off this early career gem are. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.
Who would do such a thing? Look, I stand in the flame of a feeling we call pain. Father's Day mug, little hand shaped of clay. Carrier planes flew overhead in pockets.